Welcome to Fasman Jones 5-minute reviews. The Reality War. The Reality War had a lot to improve after the struggles of Wishwell. This was more messy with its conclusion, but there were more to enjoy here, so there was a little bit of improvement. There were some pleasant surprises though. Queen Sephari, who you remember me praising back in Joy to the World, returned as Anita Ben. I loved her so much. Once again, she was one of the two characters that was done right. I like the fact that she got a bit of a mother vibe there. She was instrumental into helping the group save Earth. Anita is pregnant, as is tied to success pregnancy at the time, and it's great to link the real world in here. She got what was run, even with mistakes at the end. That was not his own fault. He was a powerhouse, and I'm glad that we got our recent action doctor back. Would have loved to see something like this in Wishwell. It's disappointed as he was ruined by the rewrites, but still put on a good performance. Unfortunately, he's going to be outshone by the next three leads. Good for my boy She. Justice for Ryder Sephari, as she deserves way better. I can see the potential as Belinda. Being a parent, especially if I wanted to return back to daughter Poppy, but why they didn't do this at the beginning baffles me, especially with his messaging Grogu on the return very soon. Russell, why not take the risk? It would have been a lot better than what she got. I have mixed thoughts on how Ruby's Sunday was written. Millie Gibson was so strong, and I liked a bit of jealousy near the end and her confident comrade and between the Doctor to save Poppy, but she, like us, will be overshadowed. Speaking about robberies, what were they doing with the right? A scaredy cat being eaten by a god? That's bad characterization. Russell would benefit if he did something like they've done in Star Wars, as there are great villains who are scaredy cats. Archie Punjabi, Anita Jobson, and John Howard King were robbed, and once again, Doctor Who isn't capable of giving villains something more satisfying. I feel the part about wishes is a mixed bag, as there are some major errors, and I'll talk about this very soon. However, Jason's conclusion was sweet. I feel Omega was an interesting godlike character, as it's faithful to his original appearance. I still don't get why they became animals, like Suchek, but Skirts helps them, but I feel it's done better in Ahsoka if I'm honest. It's just not as exciting as how Dave Filoni does it. There were a few leaks that were spot by people, including the regeneration. What is wrong with you people? Stop ruining it, guys. It's bad, and another reason why the show is getting outshone by a little green picture who says Petu. It's an emergency Doctor Who. The return of one of the best doctors in this episode, and surprisingly, as she is consistent, she was one of two characters that was done right in this episode. It's the comedian herself, Jodie Whittaker. Jodie never left the role and was so strong as usual, and I like she was mature, as it's good to see a different balance between Molly Doctors, like I saw in The Giggle, which I still love, and that paid off, and it's well recognised. The history makers told this, and I'll always feel both Doctors deserve better in the fandom. Russell kind of proved me wrong here, and hearing his interviews on 13 gives me a lot of respect, even though I do give him a hard time on certain stuff. Love the Fantasy Mansion. Yes, but 15 changed, not gonna lie, I didn't feel as much as I did for Jojo David, and that's surprising as I am a 10 critic, but 14 is still Russell T Davis' most consistent Doctor. I still love 15, but yeah, I get saving one life, but it's not as impactful as once again, even though I have been harsh on 10's exit, it makes more sense there. 15 doesn't have the arc to back him, and I'm sad for She. The rewrites is what let this episode down. A lot of opinions I agree with on what they should have done, but this puts the show in a dangerous position, especially when the next show I'm watching is a character that isn't very popular in my eyes, but is climbing up thanks to Sam Witwer's hype, which Doctor Who could learn from. Billy Piper is back. Or is it? Is Billy playing someone else? The line she had isn't as strong as maybe her predecessors, but hopefully Billy sticks around as if David Tennant can pull it off, Billy can do so too, but they need to make sure she's written correctly, as all the shows I'm watching are on the rise again, and by the time Billy comes back, it's hard to say who has succeeded and who will be coming on. Repeat 2023, then the show should be safe and score ahead of shows that have had an off week. It could have done even better if it was open-ended, as Billy would not be in this situation. It's a week finale. The guest cast had a bit of a mixed reaction by me here. I felt the three leads failed to ignite because of the writing, and I feel Doctor Who might be in trouble for a while, as Darth Maul, Darth Talon, Din Djarin, Din Grogu, Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren are all threats, and Russell has a big fight as dumps they had at the start has faded away. That's it for this 5-minute review. Please like this review and subscribe to the podcast channel to keep up to date with all the latest content. Thank you for listening to Phasma Jams, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Subscribe to Phasma Jams and stay tuned for more podcasts. See ya!